Hello, I'm Scott Strand from the Track Shack Running Shops.
And I'm Alex Morrow with Resolute Running. And even though it's July and we know it's hot outside, it's heating up in a lot more than just the temperature. So there's a lot of races going on. And the first one I want to talk about is the Retro Run, one of my favorite 5Ks in town. These guys put it on. Scott, tell us a little bit about the Retro Run.
Retro Run's been around for a long time. For the last dozen years or so, we've been in charge of it. And it's a great, middle of the summer evening race, July 26th, 7 p.m. And we close off the streets of Homewood. There's music, there's beverages, there's a costume contest. So for folks that are wanting to have something fun to do, not just your run-of-the-mill 5K, and also for your kids and your high school runners.
Sure. There's not many 5Ks that are catered by Jim and Nick's. This is a good one. Speaking of the kids, what's really interesting about the Retro Run is all of the children from the Resolute Running youth camps all participate in the Retro Run, and they're all excited about it because it is such a great event. And that's also a good segue to talk about the cross-country season coming up and the kids who've been training. How does this incorporate into that world?
Well, all these kids that have started to train for their middle school and high school seasons, they're getting their training shoes. They've also been doing all this training, and it's a great time to test yourself, run a 5K, do something a little bit different, and see what kind of shape you've gotten yourself into.
Gotcha. And for their compression gear and all of their workout clothes, you got it all.
Yeah, we got all that stuff. Mostly what we're seeing is training shoes right now. We'll get into the spikes as they get closer to the season.
Nice. And speaking of training, for you adults out there, we're not leaving you out. The Talladega Half-Marathon. Come run Talladega, baby. It is September 14th. It's another Track Shack event. Tell me a little bit about that one.
Well, it's I guess the 5th or 6th year out there. It's on the track. Not the whole event, of course, that would get a little dull. But it's a great event. It's a very unique perspective on the facility if you've ever been there for a race. We're 12 weeks out, so it's time to get started for your training. So come see the guys at Resolute Running for your training tips and get started.
And registration is open.
It is open.
Fantastic. Yes. For the races, the Retro Run, Talladega, go to trackshack.com. For all the training for Talladega, we'll have you ready. Go to resoluterunning.com. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next week.